Yes, guys, I'm Sai. Welcome to Ace Podcast Nation and welcome to the latest video in our football content. This week we are previewing Cardiff City versus Sheffield Wednesday. We're going to talk about the lineups, bit of tactics, and so on. This game is two teams searching for their first win of the championship season. It's home for Cardiff. Listen, let's be honest. I think Sheffield Wednesday are struggling at the moment this year. Haven't got a point. Cardiff, I think. I said on the weekly show this week that I thought, whilst on paper it looks terrible and looks like the same old, I have seen enough during games to suggest that maybe our results don't match the performances. Bit unlucky with a couple of late goals. Look, I'm not saying we're going to go and win the league, but I think it's better than perhaps the stats or the league table suggests. We've got a new manager. He's still finding his feet. Errol Balut has been appointed to build for Cardiff City. It's been a busy transfer window. Probably haven't seen the rest. I haven't seen the end of that either. And Ramsey grabbed his first goal of his return, and what a goal it was. So it's going to be interesting. But first and foremost, let's have a look at the opponents, Sheffield Wednesday. Haven't won a game this season. Have kind of struggled a bit. They have won. They won in the EFL Cup, but they've lost all three league games. The team news ahead of the game looks like Sheffield Wednesday will line up with Vasquez, Palmer, Diaby, Iorfa, Famio, Byers, Backinson, Callum Patterson, Barry Bannon, Windass, and Gregory up top. Personally, I think that side is better than their form suggests, but also they've been playing Callum Patterson in defence. We know that that's not his best place. Cardiff can get at him, certainly with the wide players that we've got. Barry Bannon, whilst 34, 35, pushing on in age, is still more than capable of a bit of classic finishing, set pieces, things like that. He's definitely got it in him. Josh Windass has got goals in him. We need to be wary of him, of course. Normally, it looks like the fellows or their summer arrival, Bambo Diaby, will be deployed inside Dominic Iorfa at the heart of the back four with Vasquez in goal. And then Akin Famuweo has fast become the first choice left back at Hillsborough and looks like he could be a player. But I think we're all here to talk about Cardiff. Personally, I think Cardiff should go on to make this victory. I think we're capable of it. I think they'll set up in a way to play similar football to what they've done previously. However, I would make a couple of changes, just little tweaks. Obviously, you've got Romeo is banned, so that's going to make a difference. Hopefully, Perry and G will be back. What we have to do for first and foremost is Cardiff need to cut out the late goals. And they also need to make the Cardiff City Stadium a fortress again. They need to be beating teams. They should have won the QPR game. They've had a very difficult start to the season. Leeds, you'd have taken a point, even though it was disappointing to get that late equaliser against us. Same with the Leicester game, really. You'd have taken a point all day long. But Mate misses that late chance just before Leicester go on to score. However, again, yes, Mate missed the chance. But when Mate went up front, Cardiff looked way, way better. His link-up play, his movement allowed other players to get into some promising positions as well. Whereas Ugbo, yes, he's got a knack of scoring goals, or at least being in the right place to score goals and get those tap-ins and rebounds. His link-up play, his movement off the ball is non-existent, and I think he causes problems for some of the players behind him, like Aaron Ramsey and things like this. Aaron Ramsey is a player who's going to find pockets of space, and he wants to be able to slip little balls into the striker, play off him, 1-2s, slip in behind the fullback for the wingers. It's very difficult to do that if your central striker is poor in his link-up play, unless they go another way and may potentially play Carlin Grant or Callum Robinson through the middle for the home game and maybe try and get in behind Sheffield Wednesday. It'll be interesting what the manager goes for. Personally, I think some of it will come down to who's fit, because I'm not sure Mate is 100% fit yet. Same with Carlin Grant. My lineup would be Alnwick in goal. I would go Perry Ng right back, McGuinness, Gutas, Jamalu Collins. Their midfield is an interesting one for me, because I've said a lot. I don't think you can play Wintle, Rawls with Ramsey in the 10 because there's not enough legs. And if teams have got young, athletic midfields, we struggle. However, Sheffield Wednesday be playing Barry Bannon in the 10, who doesn't fit into that athletic, young, quick kind of thing. So it's a difficult one. Wednesday, the Muniz may look to make some alterations. Sheffield Wednesday team Saturday, he can't have Momo Diaby, who's injured. Will Vokes or Barkinson are going to come in. I think it'll be Barkinson, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's Will Vokes. We know what he's capable of, but we also know he's got a temper. So let's get in his ear. Let's wind him up a little bit. So I would actually go for Wintle and Rawls against my better judgment for this game, with Ramsey in the 10, O'Dowda on the left, Bowler on the right, with Mate up front. And then I'd be looking to bring on Siopis for Rawls at some point, or maybe even Wintle if Rawls was having a good game. I'd also be looking to get Callum Robinson up front, particularly if we can get a goal in the first half, because then I think Robinson can really benefit from being through the middle, getting in behind on the counter-attack. But for a start, I'd go with Mate up top. I think his link-up play was really good, and I think when you've got Bowler who cuts inside and O'Dowda who goes around the outside on the wings, two really, really good pacey wingers, it creates that space for Ramsey to link up with Mate or play in Mate and do some damage, maybe get shots off. Ramsey will be the key player. Key player for Cardiff City will be Aaron Ramsey, of course. If he can find those pockets of space, I think we'll really be able to capitalise at home now. Like I mentioned just now, you have Josh Bowler who likes to cut inside. You have O'Dowda who can cut inside, but he also likes to go on the outside. They create those little pockets of space. Mate can drop deep to be played off, but he can go in behind as well. He's a proven championship goal scorer. So Ramsey will be looking to play off him, play around him, really push on, either get a shot off. Obviously, if you've got things like set pieces and stuff like that. And Ramsey's quality can never be questioned. I said last year, if it wasn't for Aaron Ramsey's broken leg early in from Ryan Shawcross earlier in his career, he would have gone on to be one of the best midfielders in Europe, if not the world. And I stand by that. Aaron Ramsey is, even at the age he is at now, he is a quality midfielder. He just doesn't have the legs that he once had, but he is still, the way he reads the game is so vital for Cardiff. And that's why it's important to have the right players around him. And I cannot wait to see Siopis up to full speed. He hasn't had a full pre-season, so he is going to take time to get up to speed. But when he does, I think you'll see a very different Cardiff City. That's when I think we see the Ng pushing up into midfield to create the overload. Siopis will be the legs. We'll be feeding the ball into the ball players. But Siopis is also capable of breaking the lines with, carrying the ball, but also with a ball through the lines, transitioning from midfield to attack, getting the players out wide or over the top. He's got a good switch ball in him as well. But most importantly, he's got the legs and the athleticism to really get about that midfield. However, we're talking Sheffield Wednesday game, and I think we'll go with Wintle and Rawls to kind of Winter will keep an eye on Barry Bannon whilst trying to break up the play, and hopefully Joe Rawls can feed the likes of Ramsey, Bowler, O'Dowda, and the others who come on later in the game. My prediction for the game is 2-0 to Cardiff City. Cardiff City have been much better than their results suggest, whilst Sheffield Wednesday, their form is kind of not what they envisaged when they had that great end to the season and promotion, but they have struggled, and I think they'll continue to struggle. So, yeah, I think 2-0, maybe even 3-0 to Cardiff. I fancy Cardiff to score some goals. I like the way Cardiff have been playing. Maybe just a little bit, maybe one or two players that are not quite playing the role that the manager wants to play him in this system. But that'll come the more they play under him. And I think, like I said, I think Psyopis will make a big difference. I also think we've got our eyes out for maybe one or two more. If it was up to me, we would sign Axelton Zabi on a free and Kiefer Moore on a loan. But alas, it is not up to me. I'd like to hear your comments, though. Let me know what you think the score will be. Let me know also what you think of my starting 11. Do you think it'll differ? What would you do different? I'm always interested in what people say, what they got to view. This is kind of new content for me. I'm used to more long-form discussions and having something to bounce off. So it's a bit different, but if you guys like it, we'll try and do these previews every week. Look forward to the games. Come on, the Bluebirds. Let's get 3 points on the board and let's really push on and see what we can do this season, because we've got quietly built a decent squad. One or two more, maybe a couple out, and I think we could be cooking under this manager. I got a big fan so far, I should say. Guys, please do subscribe to youtube.com/AcePodcastNation. If you want to support the channel, then patreon.com/AcePodcastNation. That's what's bringing you the show today. That's what's bringing you all this content, is that Patreon. So if you can just, spare basically the price of a bag of chips per month, you get additional shows, you get involved, you get discount on merch, you get tickets to live shows, stuff like that. It's all good in the hood. I appreciate you all. Take care. God bless.